Hello and welcome to Awaz News. I'm Kubra Ali and I'll be taking you through big news across Canada.
A syringe was seen sticking out from underneath the TTC streetcar seat over the weekend, prompting the transit network to take the car out of service to thoroughly clean it. The incident happened at around 11 a.m. Saturday on board a 501 Queen streetcar heading eastbound, according to a Reddit user. The streetcar rider posted pictures of the syringe, needle pointing outward underneath the red felt seat. The user, who asked to remain anonymous, told Awaz News that they quickly noticed the syringe after boarding the streetcar with their friend who was sitting in the seat beside it. They said they notified two TTC officers at the time, but the streetcar remained operational and the syringe was not disposed in the duration of their trip. The user adds they formally reported their incident, hours later via text. A spokesperson for the TTC said the incident was reported through the Safe TTC app. While incidents like these can be unsettling, Green says they are rare across the transit network given how many vehicles are in service at any time. Transit riders are encouraged to notify TTC staff either in person or through the Safe TTC app or press the yellow strip if there is something they wish to report. Dozens of construction workers are safe after they were trapped by a wildfire near Sandy Lake First Nation in Ontario. Sikwasan Northern and Manitoba construction companies said 14 crew members plus 4 others with other organizations were working at a site near the First Nation on June 7th. At the time work began in Sandy Lake First Nation on Saturday, June 7, there was no evacuation order in place. Out of an abundance of caution, we initiated aircraft evacuation plans early that morning, the company said in a news release. However, Sikwasan Northern had to pause the evacuation as the company said the area became inaccessible due to the fire activity. Video posted on social media shows fire surrounding the work site with moments of limited visibility. The workers hid from the fire inside a shipping container. Sikwasan Northern said the workers have been reunited with their families and counseling is available to anyone affected. We commend our crews for their remarkable professionalism, courage, and calm response. Prime Minister Mark Carney posted on Twitter Sunday that the Canadian Armed Forces have been brought in to assist with the evacuation of Sandy Lake First Nation. A sports coach in Markham has been charged in connection with numerous sexual assaults that allegedly occurred over a 9-year period, York Regional Police say. In a news release issued Monday, police said they began their investigation in May after a victim came forward. It's alleged that the sexual assaults began in 2015 and continued until 2024. Police said the victim was under 16 years old when the sexual assaults began. Garth Morris, 58, of Markham, was charged on June 5th with invitation to sexual touching under 16 years of age, sexual interference with the person under 16 years of age, sexual assault, and sexual exploitation. Morris worked as a basketball, tennis, and volleyball coach in Markham, and police said there may be additional victims. Police are asking anyone with the information about the investigation to contact them at 1-866-876-5423 extension 7071 or Crime Stoppers anonymously. The beer store, TBS, has announced its latest round of closures, shutting the doors to outlets in southern Simcoe County and York region. Monday's announcement comes with the closure of 9 other beer stores across Ontario. We made the difficult decision to close these retail locations. We will continue our focus on what we do best: ice-cold beer, great customer service, and world-class recycling program that last year returned more containers than we sold, said Ozzy Ahmed, Vice President Retail of TBS. On July 6th, the beer store located at 14800 Yonge Street in Aurora will be slated for closure. The beer store on 55 Queen Street in Tottenham will shut its doors on August 10th, nearly 2 months away. This is the latest update in a series of closure-related announcements that the retailer has made. These closures are part of consumer retail alcohol modernization found in the early implementation agreement and provincial regulations. Modernizing operations in a changing marketplace is never easy. We know this will be difficult news for customers and employees. The beer store is committed to treating employees with respect and supporting them during this process, continued Ahmed. The following alcohol containers can be returned to collect your deposit back: beer, wine, and spirits bottles, aluminum cans, plastic bottles, Tetra Paks, and kegs. The beer store says they encourage customers to continue returning more than the approximate 1.6 billion alcohol containers processed annually. Toronto police are looking for a man who they say assaulted 3 female strangers on TTC property. The latest incident occurred on the afternoon of the June 5th at Broadview Station. Police said a male suspect was inside the station at that time when he assaulted a woman unprovoked. Police said the suspect, who does not know the victim, fled the scene. The victim suffered non-life-threatening injuries. Investigating that incident, police said they were able to identify the suspect as a man sought in 2 other assaults on TTC property, which occurred earlier this year. On February 27, police said officers were called to the area of Broadview Avenue and Gerrard Street East for an assault on a TTC streetcar. In that case, police said the suspect assaulted the victim after a brief verbal exchange. The suspect fled the scene and the victim sustained non-life-threatening injuries. The victim and the suspect are not known to each other. Before that, on January 28, police were called to the Woodbine station for an assault. Police said the suspect and a female victim were both on the bus when the victim exited. She was assaulted by the suspect who fled the scene. Again, the suspect and victim are unknown to each other. Police identified a suspect as Musi Wold-Mariam, 61, of Toronto in news release issued Monday. He wanted on 3 counts each of assault and breach of probation. Police are asking anyone with the information to contact them at 416-808-5500 or Crime Stoppers anonymously. The Metrolinx Transportation Agency is inviting the public to name 2 of its titans of tunneling that will be used to construct the future Ontario line. Metrolinx is now accepting names for the 2 of its giant tunnel boring machines, TBMs, which will be used for twin 16-meter deep and 6-kilometer long tunnels in the southern portion of the subway project from Exhibition Station to the Don River. People are being urged to consider local landmarks and history-famous individuals and places, as well as the unique aspects of the communities these machines will travel through when coming up with a name. Submissions can also include pairs of related names, Metrolinx said. Once the contest comes to a close on June 23rd, community members will be invited to vote on their top choices. The winners of the contest will be credited and will have the chance to be part of a photo op with the massive TBMs at the tunnel launch shaft near Exhibition Place. Metrolinx first broke ground on the project there in November 2024. The first pair of TBMs recently arrived in Toronto after being assembled, tested, and disassembled in the Germany. 2 other TBMs are set to arrive there this fall. In October 2021, a naming contest was launched for the Scarborough Subway Extensions Tunnel boring machine, as well as the 2 TBMs that were used to dig the Eglinton Crosstown West Extension's twin tunnels. After receiving hundreds of submissions and following months of voting, Diggy Stardust was selected for the Scarborough Subway Extensions TBM, while the Eglinton Crosstown West Extensions TBMs were named Rexy and Venny. Congenital measles can result in severe complications, including inflammation of the brain and death. On Thursday, Moore announced an infant born prematurely and infected with measles died in southwestern Ontario. He says the infant also faced some serious medical complications unrelated to the virus. In an interview with the Canadian Press, Moore says 40 pregnant women have been infected with measles in Ontario and only 2 were vaccinated. Moore suggests unvaccinated pregnant people isolated if they live in a community with active measles cases. Health officials have reported more than 2,000 cases in the province since the outbreak began in October. The measles, mumps, and rubella MMR vaccine is not recommended once a person is pregnant because it contains a live virus that could theoretically be transmitted to the fetus. The National Advisory Committee on Immunization recommends unvaccinated pregnant people get 1 dose of intravenous immunoglobulin within 6 days if they are exposed to measles. However, Moore said that message faces hurdles similar to those around vaccine hesitancy. Some people, if they don't want a vaccine, they may not want the immunoglobulin either. That may be philosophical choice, Moore said Friday. In an editorial published Monday in the Canadian Medical Association Journal, Dr. Catherine Warner argues pregnant people are bearing the burden of Canada's measles outbreak. Pregnant people are often at higher risk than the general population in infectious disease outbreaks. As such, they cannot be afterthought in the preventive strategies and healthcare systems responses, Warner writes. Moore said the vast majority of the pregnant people in Ontario are fully vaccinated against measles. It's only a very small subgroup of people who have chosen not to get vaccinated who are having the complications, he said. I know some will concentrate on the glass being half empty. To have the level of protection in the face of the risks globally, I think it is quite an accomplishment.
Thank you for tuning in. I'm Kubra Ali. I'll see you back tomorrow, same time, same channel. Have a good night.